walking slow, sensitive, feel the afterglow, looking for things that I can't control, fear from my past cause it always shows. Do I wanna try, can I let it go? Running from the past, wanting to be sure. Chaos in my mind, constant deja vu, but every time it comes back to you. Whoa, I'm still falling. Whoa, but it tastes bittersweet. Whoa, I keep on falling. Whoa, I like the taste of it.
Hello lads, welcome everyone to the Game Week 24, Game Week 25 Knee-Jerk Reaction live stream. Thanks everyone for hopping into the chat early. It's good always to have people in early just to give a little one-on-one chat to answer some questions that everyone's got in the comments. Dave, I've captained Salah and he's praying. So do we. We've got Salah on captaincy. We were tossing up between Bowen, Cancelo, De Bruyne and Salah. And we captain Salah and Bowen, De Bruyne and Cancelo all obviously have returns, so it'd be quite punishing if Salah doesn't get any attacking returns, but I mean you have Salah in there to get the points. Yes, it is. So, as per the typical knee-jerk reaction video, we're going to be going through the most transferred in and transferred up players this week, and just going through what we think of all the most popular transfers, whether you should hop on them or steer clear of them. First of all, Philippe Coutinho, 16 points this game week. That's class from him. What a little signing he's been for Aston Villa, and consequently, he is the most transferred in player this week, with 160k new owners already, and the game week hasn't even finished. 25 total points so far, £7.1 million. I mean, that's good value for the returns that he's been getting. 2 goals and 2 assists in 3 games is very nice work. And of course, Villa have these great fixtures: Newcastle, Watford, Brighton and Southampton. It's the next 4. You'd definitely think at least another 1 goal or assist in his next 4 games. Sheldon, I was happy with KDB. Yes, we did have KDB as well. Nice to see him get the clean sheet point and triple bonus. Someone else captained KDB and had Bowen, but not Salah for this game week. So should be interesting going to bring in Salah in for KDB. Yeah, it could be interesting considering KDB's excellent form. Makes sense to remove KDB before he plays Norwich. I don't think he'll play considering City plays Sporty within 72 hours of that. That's another very good point with the Champions League. Who's going to be prioritised for that? You'd have to think De Bruyne does get prioritised for the Champions League. So I can see De Bruyne out, Salah in being a good transfer move as well. Speaking of Salah, he is the second most transferred in player. His ownership had dropped like 50% over AFCON. He was 35% previously, now up to 39%. He is obviously the best FPL asset in the game. When he's playing, he's still yet to play Leicester at home. We've got him as our captain for this game week. Also, yeah, don't forget to leave a vote in the poll. Do you have Salah in your teams currently or not? Because it's always interesting to see that kind of stuff. especially with the ownership of 39%. You don't really know what of that is live teams and what of that is just there from the start of the year. But especially with that Liverpool double game week against Norwich at home and Leeds at home in 26, there's definitely going to be goals for Liverpool over the double game week. And I think if you've got the triple captain token, this man is a prime candidate for the triple captain over the double game week. So definitely can't disagree with that transfer in. Alan St-Maximin is another one that's been in great form for Newcastle. Let's have a look at his recent stats. He's got himself 2 goals and an assist in his last 4. Very impressive stuff. And he's hopping on the bonus points there as well a bit. I did remember having a look at Newcastle's fixtures before and they looked okay. They've got Villa and West Ham as their next 2, which isn't the worst but isn't the best. Brentford away is decent. Brighton at home is not the worst either. Chelsea away is tricky, then Crystal Palace at home. Do they have any other fixtures to be rearranged? They've got 2 as well, so Everton and Southampton. So definitely looking at a likely double game week at some point for Newcastle. So at 6.8 million, there is a serious lack of forward options in FPL right now. So Maximin could step forward and be the best forward option in the game because Antonio's not been firing. Watkins has good fixtures, but it's not really firing. Dennis and King have been a bit off it. I think Ronaldo's a bit too expensive for the returns that he's getting at the moment. I prefer to have KDB or Salah or even Bruno Fernandes in the same team. So Maximin could definitely be a nice forward option there. Jacob Ramsey, he got himself 2 goals in game week 24 at 4.7 mil for a starting player. And that's offering some decent attacking potential. 5 goals and 1 assist this year. Definitely sneaking under the radar. 2 double-digit hauls in his last 3. He's got 3 double-digit hauls the whole year and excellent fixtures. So if he continues to keep putting out minutes, then, I mean, that's just such a great value FPL asset. Starting every game since game week 15. So 9 starts in a row. I mean, that's great value at 4.7 million if you're looking for a cheap midfielder. Can't complain about that transfer. 58,000 transfers in. Neil Maupay is another popular transfer. I'm not sure how he's been going. 3 assists in his last 4, which is not bad, I guess. Brighton's fixtures, they do have the double game week in 25, which I think is the main reason people will be going for him. Definitely more of a differential option with a 6.8% ownership. After that, Burnley, Villa, Newcastle. So definitely up until game week 28, I can see Maupay being an okay short-term punt. I haven't really been looking too much at Maupay, so I couldn't give you his underlying numbers off the top of my head. But, I mean, he's got the fixtures to suit and decent form as well. At 6.5 mil, it's another forward option that people are turning to. I can definitely see there being a lot of differential options in the forward line at the moment with the serious lack of FPL assets there, as I touched on before. So the likes of Maupay or the likes of St-Maximin could be coming through in a couple of teams. Otherwise, let's just have a look at a couple of other popular transfers in. Jared Bowen, I think everyone should have Jared Bowen in their teams. There's no reason not to. 135 points, another 11 points in game week 24. Yes, it was a lucky goal, but he's been in excellent form as of late. I wouldn't be hopping off him or anything. I'd definitely look to bring him in. He's still got okay fixtures to come. Leicester away. Leicester have conceded a lot of goals this year. And Newcastle at home is always a great fixture. So definitely in the next 2, I'd be holding those West Ham assets. Then after that, let me just double check. They've got Wolves and Liverpool, which are 2 very difficult opponents to score goals against. Villa, Spurs and Everton. I mean, it's not the greatest next run of fixtures after that. But we just keep him in the teams and see how he's going. Broja, I believe, got himself the goal in 24. That was a great game to see Southampton beat the Spurs. It's always good to see the Spurs lose. 3-2 to Southampton. They're a shambles of a club at the moment. But Armando Broja at 5.2. I don't mind him. He's another differential forward. 6.1% ownership. Fixtures look very decent. Very, very decent. United away is not the worst in the world. Everton, Norwich, Villa, Watford, Burnley, Leeds. Very cheap forward option. He could be the next sort of Emmanuel Dennis, Josh King equivalent at that cheap 5 million or so price. Over these games, if he can keep putting up good numbers, 6 goals and 2 assists on the year, so not too bad there from him. Paul Pogba, I don't see him ever being a good FPL asset. Don't transfer him in. Bruno Fernandes, not a bad transfer in either. He's been in decent form, and United have some great fixtures coming up. 14 points in 22-9 as well in that game week there. And he has blanked in his last 2 games, but look at these United fixtures. Southampton, Brighton, then Leeds and Watford. Also, he's a good placeholder for the likes of De Bruyne or Salah if you want to bring those guys in after United's fixtures go away. Whereas if you go for a premium forward, you have to make the 2 transfers to get in one of those guys in the midfield. This guy's a decent option as well here, Edouard. He only got 1 point in Game Week 24, but he has been in good form prior to that. 14 points in 26 and 21, 8 and 23, 6 goals and 4 assists on the year, and Crystal Palace have some great fixtures coming up, I believe. Brentford in 25, Chelsea at home is not the easiest, but then Watford and Burnley after that, so definitely next 4. One worth considering as well, yet another differential forward option, which I could say people are going for. I have seen a couple of teams on Twitter feature Edouard, so another not bad shout. Broja on fire, 100%. Ditya. Ramsey will be in my wildcard in Game Week 28. I'm going all in on double Game Week 26, so prioritising Martinelli over him. Obviously going with that Arsenal double Game Week. They've got a decent one. What do I do with Watkins? Keeps blanking even though the fixtures are very easy. To keep that PG. Yeah, I mean, we've got Watkins as well, and we've held him for very long. It's just the thing of who do you bring in if you're going to get rid of him. Do you just downgrade him to a 4.5 or go to the players that we've just mentioned here in Malpay, Broja, or even St. Maximan? I guess if you want to get rid of him, you go for one of those players, but we're trying to prioritise transfers elsewhere. In our team, we've got him just because the fixtures are that good. Surely the goals have got to come at some point, right? Had the same issue with DCL, just got to bite the bullet and get rid of him. So, I mean, that's a fair observation. I guess the DCL deal was that he's come back from injury, whereas Watkins has been getting a bit more consistency in minutes. Sheldon, Broja is definitely playing well, yeah. Fair. Future fixtures are still good, which makes it very difficult to get rid of him, 100%. And I think if we're looking at the games, they've got still 2 fixtures to be rearranged, which are so good. Burnley at home, Leeds away. It doesn't get much better than that in terms of fixtures. And then, yeah, with Newcastle, Watford, Brighton, Southampton, you'd think they'd have to have a double game week at least in the next 4. So, if you've got him now, I don't know if the right time to sell him would be now. If you've held on to him for this long, I think you just stick it out. And hopefully you get rewarded. So that's the majority of the more popular transfers in. Now let's have a look at the most transferred out players. Bernardo Silva is the most transferred out player with 62,000 moves on. He did have an excellent run there in, what was it, game weeks 11. I see it was very good from pretty much game weeks 8 through 15, through 8 through 16 really. 5, 1, 8, 8, 2, 10, 15, 6. After that, though, when I feel like a lot of people brought him in, he went 1, 2, 2, 3. Got an assist and is blanked. I'd definitely be looking to move him on. He's starting every game, which is always good to get a consistent starting attacker in the City side, but he just doesn't get far forward. And yes, they've got decent fixtures, but I think even though, yes, he is getting minutes at 7.4 million, there's definitely better FPL assets. Such as this man here, Diogo Jota. He's another very popular transfer at 8.5 mil. I mean, I don't see why people are moving this guy on. I gotta be honest. They still yet to play Leicester, so you don't even know how he's going to go in 24. It's unless people think that he's not going to be getting minutes or something, but I don't see why he wouldn't be first choice right now with his excellent form this season. Burnley away in 25 is great, and an excellent double game week of Norwich at Leeds. I mean, I'm definitely keeping him until after that double game week 26. Just the 54,000 managers moving him out there. Mikel Antonio, he's another player in our team that people have just got frustrated with and are moving on as well. He's been a bit poorer late. Only the 1 assist in his last 4 games. But as I touched on before with Jared Bowen, he's still got 2 decent fixtures to come. So I think, just as I've touched on many times so far, with the lack of forward options, I think maybe if you've still got him, it'd be a decent option just to hold on to right now. I think getting rid of him now, maybe not the time. I would definitely be looking to move him on after 26, for sure. But with Leicester away, Newcastle at home, potentially a decent hold choice there. Mason Mounts. Chelsea do have a lot of games to be, well, a lot of game weeks that they're going to be blanking in as well. Mount 1 assist in his last 4, same stats as Antonio. But yeah, the blank in 25, blank in 27. They've still got Arsenal and Leicester to be rearranged. So we'll have to see, but I can definitely see him being a decent transfer out. Can't say no to that. Cristiano Ronaldo is another very popular transfer out. We did have him as a sell option on our last buy, hold, sell video. He came off the bench, I believe, for 22 minutes. As we said there, we were concerned about how many minutes Ronaldo was going to be getting, and that did come true in 24. He obviously has great fixtures. The double in 25, 26 against Leeds, 27 against Watford. No other fixtures to be rearranged, though. I mean, the thing is, there's so many good premium options in midfield. Son looked decent in 24 as well. De Bruyne's obviously in good form, and Salah is back, so you always want to get Salah on the side. And you could even just go for Bruno Fernandes as the premium United option. So I think having a premium forward right now is probably not the best choice, because you have to book in 2 transfers to get a premium midfielder. And I think the best forward options right now to be a little bit cheaper price. Rafinha, another popular transfer out. He's a fairly high-end player. I feel like he's in a lot of live teams. Let me know in the chat if you guys have Rafinha as well, because he's been a little bit frustrating since people started to bring him in. He got that assist against West Ham in 22, and I think a lot of people bought him in Game Week 23, expecting some nice stuff against Newcastle at home, but wasn't to be. Should I keep Antonio or sell him? Hopefully we sort of answered that question before. I think I'd probably hold on to him now if you've still got him. Dr. Malcolm, that's what I kept saying about DCL, was going to go for Ramsey and Brozier for DCL and Gray this game week, and decided to give them one more chance in that backfired. Yeah. Can I see a team? Well, I'll show it quickly right at the end of the stream, but I'll just go through this first. As the third Liverpool asset, Jota or Robertson? I think I go for Jota. Should I get rid of Bernardo for Coutinho or Pogba? Definitely bring in Coutinho over Pogba, I'd say. Rafinha, so from Dangs Faz, as a Leeds fan, he played very well against Villa this morning. It's like Brazil sent the wrong player back. Yeah, I mean, he's still got... The fixture on has slowly come to a close. Everton away, that's a pretty good fixture, I'm not going to lie, considering how bad Everton are at the moment. And Manchester United at home, I think, is a good fixture. Liverpool away is, of course, very tricky. Spurs at home is not bad. Leicester away is good. I think the fixtures do seem worse than they actually are for Leeds. So I'd still be looking to hold on to Rafinha. Maddison being moved on by a few managers. He's still yet to play in 24 against Liverpool. But yeah, he's got some very tricky fixtures coming up. Liverpool, West Ham, Wolves. 3 fairly decent defensive sides. West Ham can concede a few goals here and there. But I do see Maddison being a good transfer out as well. Do they have any fixtures? They got, 4 fixtures to be rearranged. So you definitely would be expecting at least one double game week in the next couple. But I can see the short-term fixtures being a bit poor for them from an attacking standpoint, being able to put goals on the board. Not opposed to the transfer out. And as a last really highly owned player in Demarai Gray, obviously he picked up a slight injury. 1 point in game week 24, he had to go off early in the game. He had 24 minutes played. Everton's fixtures: Leeds, Southampton, decent next two, but then City, Spurs, Wolves. And Demarai Gray's been a bit poor recently, hasn't he? He's blanked in his last 5 starts for Everton, so definitely not a bad transfer right there either. I'd just be looking out for these Arsenal boys here. If you want to target the game week 26 double and fixtures beyond that, I think the Arsenal assets are worth considering. Jump on a defender if you don't already have Ramsdale. From game weeks 28 through 33, they've got nice fixtures and 3 fixtures to be rearranged as well. And I do like this man here. At £6.4 million, 96 points so far. We had him for game week 19 with his 16-point haul. And he's been very good this year. 6 goals, 5 assists. I have nothing bad to say about Bukayo Saka. I'd definitely be looking to target him in a few weeks' time. But other than that, that's the main transfers in and transfers out. As I promised, I'll quickly show the team so far this week. 40 points. Sanchez didn't play. We decided to hold on to him. Cancelo, clean sheet. Soufal, clean sheet, but got a yellow for yelling in the referee's face. Bowen, 11 points. De Bruyne, 11 points. And then the forward woes do continue. Antonio and Watkins both blank. And then Livramento didn't play. And Richardson didn't play. So 40 points so far, which is enough for a slight red arrow so far this week. But Sal's on captaincy, so we're going to need him to produce the goods. We were looking to captain either Cancelo, Bowen, De Bruyne or Salah, and all the 3 other options that we were looking at got returned, so it'd be painful if Salah doesn't. Hopefully everyone's game week 24 ends nicely and everyone takes green arrows, because who doesn't like a green arrow? I never had Rafinha, fair enough. Thoughts on Bernardo Silva for Elise? Definitely an interesting punt with Palace's good fixtures. I saw a lot of hype for him on Twitter. But, I don't mind transferring out Bernardo Silva for sure. Edouard, is it worth getting? He was arrested for the last game. Yeah, well, as I said, he's definitely a nice little differential forward. He's got good fixtures coming up. I think he's definitely a first choice player for them. Need to be careful if you've tripled up on Liverpool, as both Liverpool and Arsenal blank in 27. Yeah, it's true. That's the other painful thing about having the triple Liverpool. Because especially in our team, we've got Richardson there as well. It means we're going to be only playing 10 in 27. But yeah, thank you for everyone that has tuned into the stream. That's pretty much all we're going to do for today. We will be posting or streaming potentially a buy, hold, sell video and the team selection over the weekend, as Game Week 25 is also fast approaching. So best of luck for everyone for the remainder of Game Week 24, and we'll either see you in the next video